Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Exactly.
I see Ralph and Mac, Ron and Michael.
Good for you.
That's who I have.
I see whoever's talking.
Okay,
I don't know why. Damn
no problem.
it. Share screen.
Yeah. I think I like this screen better, except for Carlo.
Yeah, well, things happen.
I don't know how to make it. We're live.
We're live, Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. Roll call, please.
Dr. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Here.
Mr. Corbin? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. Mr. Davis?
Here,
Mr. Socio?
Here.
Mr. Andrews?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Here, sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on January 2nd, 2020, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday, that holiday, at the same place and hour.
Thank you. Ms. Gallimore, are you ready with the bill list?
Yes, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I have one item on the agenda, and that's the bill list. Does anyone have any questions on the bill list?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I noticed that there are physicals for the crossing guards, which I think is great. My question is, though, shouldn't that be covered under their insurance? And so I was just wondering why we're paying for that if it's covered under their insurance.
Kathy, you want to answer that question?
Yeah.
Leave human resources.
Yes.
Physicals.
So we're required to do an annual physical for them. It does not go under their own healthcare insurance. We have, we contract to do these physicals, and we're required by state law to do them on an annual basis. So
Okay.
it's not done through their own personal health insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you.
bill list questions? Ms. Gallimore, while you're there, would you fill the council and myself in on what your staff has been doing while they're working from home in the last week or so?
Well, mostly one of my staff is not, a few of them are not able to work from home. So what we've been doing was rotating them, limiting them to 2 persons at a time to come in and actually do the work that needed to be done. For my payroll staff, she has been home doing we've given her a laptop, so she's been doing most of payroll from home. Another of my staff that does bank rec, etc., she also has a laptop and is able to do most of her work from home, as well as the tax department. They've been coming in to respond to messages and process their work, Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Director McCormick?
Okay, can everybody hear me?
yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
got you, Ken.
Okay. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with this. It's the authorizing contract with Tactical Public Safety for the purchase of the radio equipment for Middlesex County Shared Radio Network for police, fire, EMS, OEM, Public Works. But I can certainly answer any questions if you didn't get any information. But I believe Chief Battaglia did brief you on this as far as I understand.
Kenny, I have a question for you. It's Bob.
Sure.
I just want to know when we will be, when you guys will be receiving it once you authorize this contract. How long does it take? Do you know?
It was supposed to be about a month to 3 months, but now with this COVID-19 virus going on, everything's in flux. Because
Okay.
they don't know about the installs and nobody's got employees to install them and all sorts of stuff. So I don't have a date right now, Bob.
Okay, no problem. Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah, but it's going to be a really nice system. and we'll all be able to talk to other towns now. It's going to comprise for police, fire, first aid. Everybody's excited about it, and the fire and the first aid about going to this. It's going to enable them to communicate much better when they're out of town and on another fire call. One other thing I'd just like to mention is, because we're not able to communicate too well right now, we did swear in 2 officers today in a private ceremony. One was Rich McElroy. You might know him from finance. He came over from the sheriff's department. And another one is Robert Rask. He came over from South Brunswick Police Department. We do have 2 people that we hired. One is a Spanish female, and the other was in the Cape May County Police Academy. But the Cape May County Police Academy, along with all police academies, has been canceled. So they're on hold right now. So everybody's being sent back to us right now until they figure out is they're going to do online training or what they're going to do. But just wanted to let you know about those new people coming on board.
When they go back, Ken, when the academies reopen, are they going to pick up right where they left off, or they have to start over? Do they know?
We don't know. That's why they're trying to set up online learning so they don't miss things. But they weren't ready for this,
Right.
and they don't know yet what's going to happen. They may have to just start over again in July.
Director, can you real quickly, if you can't, that's okay. Can you real quickly fill the council in on the scheduling changes generally that you put into effect to adapt to the current situation?
Yes, Chief Patati came up with a schedule that basically to minimize the amount of people that are in the building at one particular time. He worked with the PBA and SOA to get cooperation because there was a lot of schedule changes and a lot of other things that went on. We restricted all time off, no more time off until June for any police officer. They're going to go on a 3-day on, 6-day off schedule, and the squads are going to be reduced. They're going to be 12-hour days, and the squads are going to be reduced down to instead of having overlapping squads like we used to have, where we had a lot of guys in the building, we're going to have minimal people in the building at the time. So that's accomplishing what the Attorney General and the Governor wants, to minimize people in the building. So that's effective this Saturday. We also have the Sheriff's Department coming in. Mildred Scott has graciously volunteered to give us sheriff's officers. They're going to be used to patrol shopping centers, apartment complexes, businesses, just in case things get out of hand with, if we see there's a rush on certain businesses or things like that. They're on Monday, a presence out there that's going to help us. They're also going to start on Monday because they work a different schedule than we do.
Thank you, Director. Anyone have any questions for Director?
That's all I have there.
Director Ritz?
Hey, good evening, everyone. I've got 4 items this evening, and I'll ask for questions at the end. The first item is a resolution appointing Bill Nelson as our senior citizen and disabled protective tenancy officer. That's an appointment to replace Mike Peretti. And actually, I'll note tomorrow is Mike Peretti's retirement and official last day with the township after almost 34 years. The second item is the receipt of bids for the Roosevelt Avenue extension or the high school accessway. That's being managed by T&M. This is a long-awaited project that we discussed to do some of the last remaining remediation along that area adjacent to Veterans Park, and then we'll mill and pave all of that access road when we're done. The third item is the receipt of bids for a walking trail project at the Polda Farm. This is a phase 1 project. And we're hoping, based on the bid receipts, that we have grant money that we're hoping is going to cover 100% of that project. So we will await those results. And lastly is the receipt of bids, authorizing the receipt of bids for the 2020 road improvement program. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Director Ritz. Ms. Monzo?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I have one item. It's an ordinance that authorizes a negotiated agreement to purchase or acquire property. It's designated technically as Block 224, Lot 21. It is a property on Old George's Road, and it's contiguous with the property is known as Knob Valley. We have negotiated this based on comps of similar size properties and type property, and we're wanting to acquire this so that we can start to move forward with the shared project that we're doing. We'd like to do with the Board of Ed by putting a full day child care center there, and then a park, and it'll have some type of, we're looking at plans to possibly put in a small spray ground, which is, typical for a lot of different playgrounds now, and another playground. So we want to acquire this property because it's a frontage piece of that entire lot, and it would really help to provide some better access and good access to that, instead of us having to kind of build around the property that's there.
Questions?
Mac, can I just jump back to Michael for a minute?
Unless he hung up.
No, I'm here.
Michael, could you just go on 25 words or less on number one, the senior citizen disabled protected office? Can you just explain that real quick?
To my knowledge, I think we've only had to use it once in about 40 years, Councilman. It's a requirement that if a set of apartments were to be converted to condominium use, it protects and prevents the landlord from evicting either senior citizens or disabled populations from those units for a period of months. And I think we've only had to exercise it once, as I mentioned, in a long time, but that's essentially what it is.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Council President Andrews?
Thank you, Mayor. I think I brought up at one of the meetings previously that Tom Dignan and I had gone to a seminar by the Board of Public Utilities plus Middlesex County, and they had various guests there from all the different state divisions. At the time, they were trying to pass some legislation related to funding and things would be available for charging stations and to get townships to move forward with electric vehicles. From that meeting, Tom met with some of the people there, and they indicated that this funding was available and that we should make application. We're going to be moving forward with an electric vehicle program that we're going to add a couple of vehicles to our fleet as we move forward. The state has now put electric vehicles on the state contract list, so there's a number of those vehicles that are available. And so we're making an application to buy a single charging station. A dual charging station. You can charge two vehicles at a time, but actually going forward, you wouldn't have to necessarily continually add charging stations, because you could charge a couple vehicles and then their charge would hold for, I think some of these vehicles we're thinking about are 255 miles. And then you could charge other vehicles, so you can alternate the charging and charge more vehicles. So this is a good grant fund for us, and it's something that our town is actually will save some money and help the earth.
Anybody have questions for the council president? Ms. Russo?
Hi, good evening. I have two firemen's applications this evening, one for fire company number 2 and one for fire company number 3. And I have ordinances on for second reading and public hearing, number 20-06, 20-07, 20-08, 20-09, and 20-010. And I have 3 sets of minutes on this evening, February 10th, March 9th, and March 16th. Any revisions or corrections? That's all I have for this.
Hi. Oh, sorry. I have a question on the solid waste one. I guess I wasn't at I think I had to leave early from the meeting where we first talked about this. The bulk collection that's now limited to 5 times. I mean, I know the original reason for that. But how did we come up with changing that? Because I just don't feel like punishing the entire town for a few people that take advantage is really the right way to solve that.
Catherine, do you have, or did you want to address that? Or Eric, did you want to address that?
Yes, Mayor. This was just a discussion that took place with administration, and in research of the software of the average usage for bulk pickups, it appeared that 5 was the average mean for every resident, though there were quite a few residents that have quite a bit more than 5. The average of the ones that we did look at were 5. That's why we put with that number. It's up for discussion for change, if anybody would like to see it changed. But that's how we came up with that number.
It seemed to me, right, that there weren't a lot of residents who had more than that in fact, most people don't take advantage of it that many times. So it seemed like a good number to come at, realizing that most people won't even come up to the number 5 for the year. But, if you want, I'm sure that, Eric could produce those numbers so that you could just see how many really might be hurt by that if they had to reduce the number to 5. But as you are probably well aware, 5 times a year even is pretty generous for this type of pickup, and that a lot of municipalities, particularly in the last few years, have really restricted it. So we were trying to avoid really restricting it and come up with something that we thought was reasonable. But we could provide that for you so that you could see and just see if there was anything in there that strikes you as being, unreasonable.
Oh, okay. My next question is shingles. Why don't we collect shingles anymore? I noticed they were deleted. Is there?
Shingles are actually construction material, which requires a permit for changing. Anything that requires a permit is a separate type of construction item that if it requires a permit under the current ordinance, anything that requires a permit has to be removed by the contractor.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying you can't put, maybe if you replaced a shingle in your house or on the roof or whatnot, but we're mainly concerned about replacing your roof and doing it according to the ordinance.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Eric, just so you know, and I found this out, I double checked it. I think if you do your roof, they definitely have to remove it. You can't throw it in the garbage anyhow, right?
That's correct. It has to be removed by a contractor.
Any other questions for Lisa? Ms. Monzo, I wanted to compliment that Muhammad Ali picture behind you. Is that, I guess, towering over Sonny Liston there, right? Is there anybody, Justine? Is there anybody who's here for public hearing during the at the agenda meeting? No, there's not. Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing on that?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to adjourn this part of the meeting?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Aye.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Lopez?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes, here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Socio?
Here.
Mr. Andrews?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Here, sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on January 2nd, 2020, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
I want to thank you for putting a flag right behind you, Ms. Russo, and we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance
To the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
pretty quick.
Is there a motion to approve consent agenda item A?
So
So
moved.
moved.
So moved.
Second.
Yes, so.
Roll call.
Dr. Lopez? Dr.
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Dr. Lopez, I want to say God bless you for all the work you're doing at the hospital every day. Well, our thoughts are with you, and we appreciate you being here with us tonight.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Mayor.
Anybody else have some comments this evening? Is there any-
Just real quick, Mac, I spoke to Connie a little while ago, and, you know, she's hanging in there. One of her daughters and her husband are there, but fortunately, they're all healthy, and she appreciates, everybody's thoughts for her.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. Much appreciated. I know our thoughts are all with her. Anyone else have anything this evening? Is there anyone who has appeared in any form whatsoever for public hearing this evening?
No, Mayor.
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And is there a motion to adjourn this evening's second meeting?
So
So
moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody have a real nice night. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night, everyone.
Have a
Aye.
good night.
Aye.
Hey, Amanda. Bye, Amanda. Bye, Ralph. Bye, Lisa.
Bye. It was good seeing everybody.
Aye.